Hello, my loves. Good morning. Welcome to this little energy update. I'm just going to start off by sharing very vulnerably that I'm being called to step into my voice in a very bold and courageous way, and I don't yet feel that courageous. I don't yet feel that confident stepping into what I know life is calling me into. So I just want to start by saying thank you for your love and support. Thank you for being a part of this journey with me and supporting the weird and awkward journey of discovery, just like my hair growing back. There's been some super awkward stages, and I just want to shout out to all of you that are with me throughout all of them. I know who you are, and you know who you are, and it really I just want to say thank you for your love, for your support, and for believing in me despite the stages of growth that come with coming online and stepping into your true authentic self and learning your truth and speaking your truth. And there's so much strength, there's so much vulnerability, there's so much courage that is required. And so yeah, I just wanted to start off by saying thank you to those of you that support me in all those weird stages. And so, to get on with it, I spent enough time. Thank you for being here. This is going to be just like a little energy update. One of the first things that were coming to mind is to be grateful, share my gratitude for just those of you that come into this space with me and receive the messages that are being given and delivered. There it is, receiving on the bottom of the deck, 9 of Pentacles. That could also mean receiving abundance, receiving love, receiving support from the universe. She's picking the fruits off the tree, metaphorically, right? They're pentacles, but so there could very well be this element of something being delivered to you, or the universe wanting to offer you something, and it's your time to receive. It's your time to pick your fruits that are at ripening, or at, what's the word I'm looking for? You guys know what I'm saying? It's the fruit has ripened, like it's time to be picked. And so there's something about, how do I iterate this clearly and articulate it? There's an element of like an inner gift being given, and the access to it is not the same way that we think we need to access it. Whether it's, we think we might need to access things by going and opening the door, right? If you're trying to get through a door, you're going to go open the door. But maybe opening the door, like let's say this door doesn't have a doorknob. I don't know why this is the metaphor that's coming through. Bear with me. So there's this door and there's no knob on the door. And so we are trying to open the door. We're trying to pry it open. We're trying to, we do all the things. We tie a rope to it. We drill holes in it. We put our foot through it. We try and open this door, and the door won't open. The door will not open. And what I'm being shown is that when we take a step back, we sit and relax. It reminds me of something I read in my affirmation book by Mary Gooden. If you're looking for one, she's amazing book. It said, release or relax, release, receive. And so I feel like that is super significant because it's almost as if we relax, we're like, okay, I can't physically open this door. Maybe I'm not meant to. And then the release is the part where you release your need to do something about it. You release your need or your efforting or the belief that you need to effort the door open, that you need to use force to open it, okay? And I know this is a metaphor, but I want this to apply, or I invite you to find an area of your life where this does apply. If you don't already have one, there is one where there's something that you're doing and you're efforting, okay? This is a message that was also coming through while I was cleaning this morning. I'm sorry about my hair. I'm feeling super self-conscious about it because it's crazy, but I'm gonna just Jimmy Neutron it today. Right, so I've been doing this efforting in trying to do something to make myself feel better. And it's like, normally it's cleaning my house. But recently, I think it's like book lice or something. They're harmless. They're harmless little creatures, but they're absolutely tiny. And I found one in my cupboard, and they don't live in food or anything. They eat glue or something, but I have no books for them to eat. Anyways, so I am going around and scrubbing like all of these nooks and crannies. And there's an element of, I'm sorry, it feels like there's bugs in my nose. I'm getting all itchy because I'm thinking about it. I'm tweaking out. And it's making me feel really ungrounded. So maybe there's this energy of like being ungrounded, and you're like efforting and you're trying to pry it, and you're putting all this force and this energy into it. And meanwhile, you're doing that, it's making you feel really ungrounded and self-conscious and think bad things or like silly thoughts and making you wig out a little bit. So whatever that means, I don't like it. It's not a good energy. And so whatever this energy is for you, or wherever this applies to you in your life, hopefully it's applying somewhere. Only take it if it resonates, of course. If this isn't resonating for you, please leave it behind. But the efforting is not helping you. It's like the efforting, the trying, the forcing, the pulling, the going against the flow is no longer in alignment. And it's almost as if the results that you're looking for opening the door are not going to come through forcing it open. It's almost as if like the image or the visual they're showing me is that once you sit back in your chair and you relax, the door then opens. But not until you fully release that thought or that belief that you have to do something about it, that it's your job, that it's your responsibility to open the door. It's almost as if we're stepping into the place, if you're part of this collective that's receiving this message right now, you're stepping into the place where you can take a step back and trust that the universe is also going to do their part, that spirit, God, deities, your angels, gods, goddesses, the universe, life itself, life force energy is going to do its part. And so you don't necessarily have to, I know I talk a lot with my hands these days too. There's all this energy, and maybe that's what's going on, and I'm like, that's why I'm wigging out over here and I feel like I have bugs in my nose. Maybe it's the book lice. Ew, I don't think they live on people though. I don't even want to think about it. Where was I? There's this energy of needing to step into that element of trust, of needing to step into that element of surrender and trusting that the universe wants to meet you halfway. The universe wants to do its part. And so by us releasing that belief that we are responsible for the entire function of our lives, like, yes, to an extent, take responsibility, own your shit, be real with yourself. Yes, yes, yes. And also leave room for life to support you. Leave room for, and this doesn't mean like being lazy and being like, yeah, life, give me abs. No, it means like tapping into that flow where you act from inspiration, right? My hair is driving me so crazy, you guys. I'm sorry. You act from inspiration. You act from a place of inspired action. So you feel called to do this. You feel called to, have your morning ritual this way, or you feel, and it's like we stop doing things that go against what's in the flow. And as an example, I'll use like gratitude. So I've been doing a gratitude practice for a very, very long time. And one of my practices were writing. I would write, I'm so grateful for, and I would write a page of what I'm grateful for. But eventually it became so habitual that writing it over and over and over, it wasn't making me feel grateful. It just felt like something that I was just like, oh my God, I don't want to do this right now. And it didn't put me in the state of gratitude, right? The whole purpose of doing a gratitude practice is to be grateful. And so I was doing this practice that wasn't helping me feel grateful. And just because it's what I used to do and it's how I used to do it, but it wasn't working anymore. So I've developed this new gratitude practice that's a lot more fun, and it involves like a pretty jar, and I put 3 things I'm grateful for in it every day with little sticky notes and crystals, and right. So I've made this practice less of a doing and more of like a playful, fun thing that I actually like to do daily, and it's not something I have to like force myself to do. And so, fit it where it applies, because I don't even understand really like where that was coming from or where it was going. I totally forget. But there's this element of like what is coming is hidden. It may be a little bit hidden, or it's underneath the surface of what you think you need to do about it, right? So let's say even money is another example. We think we need to work really hard and force ourselves to struggle and suffer in order to be worthy of receiving a certain amount of money, right? Like I have this set number that I want to make a month, and I'm at war inside myself that I can't do 4-day work weeks and make that same money. Like there's a belief inside of me that's like, no, that's not possible. Like you have to work 6 days a week if you think that you're going to make that much money a month. But I refuse to surrender to that belief. I refuse to adopt that as my own, even though it lives within my brain because somebody or some element of society put it in there. And so adopting this theory or this idea that perhaps we could relax and put that trust in the universe, that the universe will meet us halfway, and us doing our part is not forcing or pushing or prying or trying or efforting against anything, right? The flow, when we get in the flow, it's a dance, and it really doesn't need force. It's like being in water. You float and you swim with the current, and the current carries you. And so that is what's coming through. That is the message that is so potently it feels essential in whatever it is we're moving through as a collective right now. And this is what I wrote in my journal not too long before I started this video. Housekeeping happens within, and the external will take care of itself. Housekeeping will happen within. Oh, housekeeping happens within, and the external will take care of itself. So to translate that, for those of you that may not understand, when we work internally, say I'm having conflictions with money, when I go inside myself and I check in with where I'm feeling these internal right? Because even though I may be experiencing like financial struggles externally, it's bringing up internal. I know many people who have very little money who are very happy and very at peace inside themselves, right? So it's not necessarily the money that the problem is. The problem is our resistance internally to it. And so when we go in there into that place where we feel that struggle, where we feel that suffering, where we feel that resistance or whatever it is that we're experiencing, we allow ourselves to come compassionate with these parts, with this element or this emotion or this. And generally when we heal these parts, and healing is through feeling. So when you feel with it and you sit with it and you acknowledge it and you compassionately let it exist inside of you, we stop attracting experiences to make us feel that, because the reason the experience is coming up is so that we feel it. And I know that feels so far out and sounds so far out, but it's not. And the more you practice it, the more you practice that, and the more you go within, and then you watch your external reality just mirror you back to you, and you find that nothing outside of you really has anything to do with what's going on, and it's all an internal game that is just mirroring your internal state of being. Excuse me. You stop trying to control it externally. But of course, there are many elements in which we've been taught to control. It's like something that I've made a video about before, is we've been taught how to drive life from the outside of the vehicle. Like, we're out there, we're turning tires, we're trying to like rotate the axles and squish the brake calipers together to brake. If you don't understand, that's how brakes work, is they press on the caliper or on the rotor. The caliper presses on the rotor, and we're out there and we're like physically trying, instead of just getting in the vehicle and pushing the brake and pushing the gas and using the steering wheel, right? That's our internal world that we should be operating from, is the inside of the car. But we're out there and we're like blowing air into the intake and screwing the light bulb into the, you know what I mean, and plugging things in and unplugging things, and like we're like trying to blow the fuel through the gas line. That's my metaphor for how we've been taught to navigate life. It's ass backwards. Pardon my language. It's backwards. It's so backwards. And the more we learn to drive from the internal, which is going within and being like, oh, why do I feel this way about this situation? Or this, as another example, I'm doing childcare right now, and we're having some struggles. It happens every time I take on a new toddler or a new baby. They go through mummy separation, and I'm not mummy, and I do things a little bit differently. Even though I really try to do them like mummy, I'm not mummy. And so there's this resistance that they feel against me, and it's so funny because it brings up things in me, and then I feel, maybe a little bit of insecurity, or I feel like, it's the perfect space for me to move through my unworthy and not enough wounds, because especially with them, I will never be enough for them to accept me like mommy, because I'm not mommy, and I don't want to be accepted to that extent. But my own self-worth is like, oh, I can just not do enough for this kid to make them satisfied with me. And I feel into these, little pain teachers in me, where I'm just recognizing my own internal pain, or my own internal beliefs, or insecurities, or parts of me that need healing. And once I move through that healing, and by just feeling it and letting myself feel not enough and unworthy and sad and grieve those parts within me, and hold compassionate love for them, even though they're uncomfortable, even though I don't want to feel them and sit with them. And, once I move through that, the kids stop responding in the way that they were previously. Like, they stop creating a fuss, because the element within me that needed them to respond and react that way no longer exists. Does that make sense? This is some really potent stuff coming through. I don't even really pull cards. There's just, major messages that needed to come through that I didn't really know up until I just got into this space. So thank you for being here again. I super appreciate you guys. And there's no need to hide anymore. There's no need to hide anymore. And even saying that makes me a little bit uncomfortable, because I've been hiding a little bit. Hence why my videos have come to a little bit of a pause, or not a pause, but they're just coming out less right now, because I got scared. I put in all this energy, and anyways, this is like part of what's coming through, is the need to unravel, unmask yourself. Let your light shine. How does your light want to shine? Is it through your voice? What does your voice want to give to you? Is it through, like I know it's my voice. I'm a talker. I don't know what that's about, but my medicine is verbal. And I know that wholeheartedly, that a lot of the medicine I'm here to bring is verbal. And so that's why relaying these messages and being a channel and also singing and things like that are how I'm being called to shine my light. But it's uncomfortable. It's like the scariest thing I've ever had to do, is to let myself be as bright as I came here to be, and that makes me want to vomit. So if you're feeling this way and you're being called into the limelight, you're being called to step out of your comfort zone, you're being called to come online, quite literally, it's time. These cards are not masculine or feminine, but as you can see, like, she's in the depth of her emotion. She's in the depth of her waters. And I feel like that's what is coming through right now, is just really letting yourself, getting into the depths of your waters, and confidently just allowing yourself to find stability in your most authentic, truest nature. It's like the water that she's in is so calm. She's just there. There's fishies swimming around her. She's in the calmness of her water. And it's funny, because then there's the moon card as well. It came out in reverse, also being in the depths of her water, just calmly. So there's this element of, like, connecting to that internal place within yourself, where you let yourself show up as loudly, as boldly, as brightly, as weirdly and authentically as you are. Regardless of what the world thinks of it, regardless of how crazy your hair is, regardless of what you think you look like, or what you think you need to look like, or regardless of what you think you need to sound like or come off as, or, there's all these elements that we filter, and we're like, ooh, my skin, or ooh, my hair, or ooh, my, maybe I should put a different sweater on, or the sound in the background, or my lighting is off. You know what I mean? Like, just fuck it. Full send. That's what I'm going to say. I'm full sending it. It makes me really uncomfortable, because I'm like, oh, look at that. Full send brings us deep healing. She's obviously in pain, but to me, this is a card of healing, because she's coming into, it's like this full send is what is going to bring this collective into this 10 of Pentacles, which is like the all glory, right? And let her be healed. Let her heal these wounds that have broken her heart and ripped her apart in many ways. And the Pentacles are all about, like the 10 of Pentacles to me is always the full element of wealth. And when I say wealth, I mean health, financial, material, career, purpose, destiny, like all of the alignment in all aspects. And that's coming through stepping into our strength, stepping into our power. It's like through this stepping into the courageous power that we have within, going against all of the fear, despite what the voices in our head say, and despite what the, it's just like stepping into it full throttle, full send, with all the strength you have, and with softness too. It doesn't mean you need to like rip your, no, we can just softly step into step into all of you. And all of me is like full authenticity. I am not hiding my yawns today. I am not hiding. Oh, that's so weird. I was saying I am not hiding, and then the devil slid out like this, so it was upside down. Yeah, and it's like that which we're hiding from, that which we think, fear, the things that we fear and the things that keep us stuck is what is the only thing that is standing in our way. Our silly little thoughts. And move slowly. Allow yourself to integrate into this new, whatever that was, into this new way of being in the world. And even if it's one video at a time, one song at a time, I'm very much speaking to myself in this moment as well, because it's taken me a minute to get back into this groove, and I feel like it's still taking me a minute or two, and I'm here, and I feel good when I'm here, but it's like getting there. They say like the hardest part isn't being at the gym, it's getting there. The hardest part isn't going for the run, it's putting your shoes on and stepping outside. So it's like if we just take that one step with as much love and compassion and patience, the rest, once the momentum of the ball gets rolling, we won't have to push it so hard. And it's okay to be tired right now. It's okay to need to take your time. It's okay to need extra rest. The calls to action can often come from a place of rest. So if the only thing you feel called to do right now is to just like put a movie on and lay down and get some restoration and recharging time, then absolutely do that. Because that is the first call to action. If it's rest or a nap or, a call to action doesn't necessarily have to be like working or, getting into the race. Part of the race is the rest. Part of the journey, right? You think of when you go on huge hikes. I just did it like the biggest hike I've ever done. And I needed moments of rest, just like right now. I needed a moment in the middle of all this channeling and all of these messages coming through. I just need a moment of sacred rest. And so if you haven't already, check out my sacred rest video if that calls to you, because that's exactly what it's about, is taking these very sacred pauses in between the calls through the flow. Oh, that is what I have for you guys. I really hope this found you and met you where you needed to be met today. And if you like this video, please do give it a like and share it with who might benefit from it. If you haven't already yet, please subscribe. Subscribing is totally free. It doesn't cost you anything, and it really helps out my channel. I super duper appreciate it, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much, because I wouldn't be here without you guys, and each one of you are so important to me in so many ways. So thank you to each of you. I hope you have a blessed rest of your day. Until next time, bye for now.